The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
And I'm ready to go crazy because the Celtics are going all the way.
Hey, Nick, go handle our light work.
Bowl games matter.
I would like a cold cut sandwich.
Atta boy,
You can call him Eamon Owens because he ain't got no D and he ain't got no J.
James Madison.
Turn your body cams off. Do what you do.
Hey, everybody, what is going on? It is Tuesday night. That means it is time for another edition of Craft Brewed Sports. I am Mike. Normally, Scott's with me, but he is bombing in from a baseball game tonight. So no Scott just yet, but Mookie's here. Mookie, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling close to 100. We got our first family cold last week right after the show. At first I was like, I didn't go that hard on Tuesday. Did I really? Like, am I that old? And then it was pretty clear. I was like, no, man, this is the baby cold, got the daddy cold. And yeah, I got a lot of, oh, you got a man cold. It's like, listen, man, I was out there, I soldiered through, but didn't mean I wasn't taking 20 minutes to nap every chance I got. Like, come at me. Baby sleeps, I sleep, right? But we're back to normal now. We're feeling okay for the first time since, Wednesday last week. So,
it's rough when both parents have it and the baby's got it, dude. It is brutal. That's not a fun time.
Yeah.
Glad you're feeling better, man. Sitting there, what'd you take to knock it out? Did you do the old whiskey trick? Just like pounding shots of whiskey, try to knock that cold out? Because that's the way to do it in my house.
I mean, I probably should have in retrospect, but no, I just straight soldiered through. I think I took one dose of cold medicine in like the 5 days, but other than that, it was like, no, just get your ass up and go. I didn't go far, but I got up. It's half the battle, right? So
just sitting around. See, that's when you use it just as an excuse to watch some soccer, watch some hockey, like lay on the couch. Like you can't get too up, too down. Yeah, just I'll hang out here, watch some playoffs action here. We should talk NHL playoffs with Scott because I don't know what the heck's going on, man. I'm so out of it. Like I have no clue what's happening in that world.
When I lost in the fantasy semifinals, hockey season was over for me. So for the last 2 weeks, I don't know. Is Over Chicken still playing? Did he retire? Like he got the streak or he got the record? Like what's left to play for?
There was nothing else in the hockey world that excited me after Ovechkin got the record.
Right?
And then I saw, it was his first ever overtime game winner goal.
Blows my mind.
It is crazy that after 890 some goals, that was the first time that's ever happened. Joe Hall, by the way, excuse me. He said the reason why I knock out colds with whiskey is because I'm an alcoholic, and I disagree wholeheartedly. That's just my grandma's trick, man. That's what grandma would do. Little Jameson, and you'd be feeling fine soon enough.
Yeah.
Or you didn't feel pain.
I mean, it works both ways, right? Like it's a win-win situation to me. We should try to get Scott on this later too, because I saw something else about this. I had someone at Easter Sunday tell me they printed off tickets for the game where Over Chicken broke the record. Like the stadium made a point of making paper tickets available because everything these days is digital on your phone. But they're like, no, we'll print these up as like a commemorative collector's edition. Can you guess how much they charged people for these paper tickets that they didn't actually need to get in?
I'm going to guess at least $25 for the ticket. Like they were charging $25 for just the paper ticket to have as a memento.
Close, but it was 50 bones.
Oh my God, that's stupid. That's
right.
So stupid.
Like basically a piece of heavy paper. Like,
Hey, you know what? Dumb fans will pay it. So I guess that's on the fans at that point, because $50 for a ticket stub is
right.
The height of stupidity.
It was purely optional too, is my understanding. It was like, look, you're going to pay for the ticket to get in the game. If you want this, it's extra, but it does like, if you don't want it, like, cool, dude, you're still good. So like,
that's a lost art, man. That's long gone. The days of like saving your ticket stubs from like concerts and events you've been to. I know obviously everything's paperless now, but man, those were the days. You get that Ticketmaster stub, and
Yeah,
you rip that up and keep that somewhere in your dresser until like you finally were like, oh, I'm not dating this girl anymore, so I'm gonna throw away all these
fuck that
tickets.
bitch. That was a terrible concert, anyways. You know what I mean? I didn't have any fun. I see, and like they do some of it. Like, so Notre Dame does the shirt every year. Like student sections will do that, where like that's kind of our thing. We get it, but man, after a while, you're like, I got too many goddamn t-shirts. But like with the ticket stub, it was compact. You could, keep a lot of memories in a small location stashed away, hidden well.
Stupidest thing ever. Stupidest collection. You never looked back through the ticket stubs. You never looked back and was like, man, what a great concert. That was a good time. I'm glad I was there. That was a horrible.
It was always, why do I keep this shit at some point when you were cleaning and organizing and you just moved it to a different drawer but you didn't throw it out. It was just there, the ubiquitous American junk drawer like everybody has.
One of these days, this is going to be worth a ton of money if I just hold on to this Motley Crue and Poison ticket stub from 2008. One of these days, it's going to be
sick. See, that's why I like the concert T-shirt though, because you can not only do you have something you get to keep for a while, and it feels like something worth keeping. Because worst case scenario, it's gonna it's clothing, right? So it has some function, but you can also rub it in people's faces. Like, yeah, dude, I saw Motley Crue and what did you say, Sting?
Poison. No,
Poison. Yeah, I went and saw them live in concert, and you didn't, you little shit.
Such a good time. It was such a good time. Gabe said he's got a collection. He's got 2 ticket books.
Nice.
He keeps, and he's got his ticket stub from the Xavier UC Brawl.
Oh, beautiful.
So this is what I want to know, Gabe. How often do you just flip through that book and you're just like, memories? Or is it just when you get a new ticket stub, you throw it in the back of the book and then you close the book and put it on the shelf and never think about it again until you get another ticket stub? Like that's where I feel like I would bail on the tickets. Weird start to the show, Mook. Very weird start to
we got our old man segment out of the way, so now Scott has no excuse.
We do have an awesome show tonight, guys. It's 9 years of Craft Brewed Sports. We have been doing this show for 9 years as of Thursday. It's absolutely wild. And I found some absolutely perfect Craft Brewed Sports. Matt saying Gabe bust that out on first dates to impress the ladies.
I just think if you play your cards right, the cocktail napkin from Drinks Tonight might end up in that book, young lady. Yes. Just think about that.
Shoob said,
"Is that for real?"
Still got one of Yancey Gates'.
Okay, dude, that's awesome. That is like next level awesome. Like that's way better than ticket stubs.
Biscuit said he had his dad's stub and program from Pete Rose's 4192 game. See, that's got some sentimental value too, though. There, your Pops's ticket stub. I'd hold on to that. I don't know if I'd hold on to my own from that game. Listen. Amazing stories to celebrate 9 years of Craft Brewed Sports. There's sperm racing is apparently a thing now that we need to talk about because Mookie, you can bet on it. Also, somebody pooped in a referee's shoe. So that's another story. Like just quintessential Craft Brewed Sports topics to get to tonight. I also want to talk some baseball stuff with Scott when he gets here. We've got some shakeups in college football. We've got basically the first ever college football trade that went down this week. We've got rumors about the new playoff format, Mookie, that I want to get your thoughts on. Tons to get to tonight. We will probably get to none of it and just talk more about ticket stubs throughout the rest of the show. Before we get into anything, though, let's talk about these beers that we are drinking tonight. We rate them, as always, on Caesar scale, dog or no dog. Mookie, what is in your mug tonight, dog or no dog?
It's an absolute dog. And we talked pre-show about this, and it was a very quick 20-second conversation where there was easy agreement that this was going to be a dog no matter what. Tonight, I'm drinking something from Single Cut Beer Smiths, which, there you go, they're beer smiths. They're not a brewery, they're beer smiths. They take their craft seriously. They're professionals. It's brewed with chocolate, vanilla, and milk sugar, and it's an absolute dog. But what got us is the can art. First of all, is like, oh, that's like really basic. It says Eric on top of this like golden, I don't know, shape. But then when I looked it up, I realized that the name of the beer is Eric More Cowbell. And it immediately makes the can art a dog as well. So like this is an all-around dog. This is the doggiest of dogs. This is a pack of dogs that would win you the Iditarod. That's how good this is. Because the beer is actually solid too.
That's a dog. That's a big time dog. It sounds amazing. Yeah. It sounds like the type of beer that
if you're only going to have one, this is a good one to cash that chip for.
I would absolutely crush it.
And it's 3 years old too, for that record.
What's the ABV on it?
TBD. 6%.
6%. All right, so a little 6%. Dude, that's one you could have when it's 95 degrees out. That should be perfectly acceptable.
I think that I might actually agree with you. I hate that though.
Sounds great. Look, it's always great, and you got like all of those ingredients. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
Schubert, correct you pointing out. Technically, all of us have won Sperm Races. That's a very fair point. Wait till you hear about this one. It's weird.
Again, we're all winners here.
Gabe is drinking a Tiki Room from 903 Brewers. I love 903. They make such great beers. It's Gose Ale made with passion fruit, pineapple, coconut, and guava. 6.2% ABV. He says it is a dog. That sounds fantastic. Matt Barr had the sickness too, Mook. You guys sharing sickness over the weekend.
These man colds are real, guys.
Getting over it. He said he's on the H2O train. He says it's a dog, shaking things up with some Mio. That's the way to go, man. You want to get more water in you, a little flavor like that. I use True Lemonade sometimes.
True Lemonade.
Yeah, it's
not false lemonade. True lemonade.
Shubes is drinking a Line and Kugel Summer Shandy. It's what was in my parents' fridge. Have to stay with them since my apartment flooded. That sucks, dude. Yeah, sorry to hear about that. He says, not gonna lie, kind of a dog. Shubes, little pro tip. The Line and Kugel Summer Shandy, Yingling.
Yes.
Half and half. Drunken Palmer, fantastic. It's the best way to enjoy a summer shandy.
Well, wait a minute. What do you call it then when you make an Arnold Palmer and put vodka in it?
A Drunken Palmer. All of them are Drunken Palmer. They're all
okay.
Everything is Drunken Palmer. It's all good. He said, be right back.
There we go. There you go. The comment section always live.
It's fantastic. All right, this week. Last week I had the second annual Chubbs Peterson Memorial Golf Tournament based on Happy Gilmore. This one is from the same brewery, RAR or RAR. I still don't know what brewery is the name of it is. But this is called Out of Order. Now, you can't see most of the can because he's out. But it's a dog dressed like Happy Gilmore. He's got like the Boston hockey jersey on. He's holding a Subway sub. He's got a black eye from where Bob Barker beat the hell out of him. This is, Scott would be so proud. This is an American sour. It's 5% ABV. Yeah. It's got strawberry, lime. Look at this juicy looking brew, man.
That looks like it's like almost like a fruit puree smoothie situation. That's a serving of fruits.
Absolute dog. Absolute dog. I understand having like 2 sips of this. I understand why Scott is on the sour train, because that is just juice that's going to get me hammered a little bit. Like that is fantastic. I wish I had bought more than one of these because that is an absolute dog.
Wow. See, that's the tricky part, right? Like, so this crazy to say this out loud, but I'm actually almost through the basement stash. So I might have to go and buy beer again.
Yikes.
And I hated that part of the craft beer situation because it's, do you get 1? Do you get 2? You don't want to go full sixer, right?
Mm-mm.
But like, I always struggle because I'm like, I feel like you always want to get 2, but then it's like, well, then I only get to try 3 and I'll be right back here next week. You know,
like I've been trying to limit what I'm actually drinking. So I get 4 cans at a time when I go, and that gives me show beers for the month. And then I only have 1. And then I switch to bourbon after the show. But at the time, I'm limiting my beer intake, so I feel better about myself.
A lot less calories over there in that brown liquor. Look, I get it. Okay, like it's almost bathing suit season here, right? We're cutting because you just got to be good for that first month. You're out of your tops and whatnot. Because then they're like, see what he's working with. Then you can get fat again.
Who am I trying to impress? Like I've been married for almost 15 years. My wife knows what's underneath it. Like she's seen me at my best. She's seen me at my worst. I don't need to like impress anybody at the pool, man.
Are you basically telling me that you look at your wife and just go, where are you going to go?
Hold on. You get it. Well done, you jerk. All right, let's start off this show. Since Scott's not here, we can't talk hockey. We can't talk baseball yet. So let's talk a little football to start off. It's draft week, Mook.
I'm really excited.
Are you
I
excited
am
for draft week?
And here's what's going to shock you. It has nothing to do with gambling.
That is a shock. I'm actually very shocked by that.
I'm really intrigued to see how this top 10 picks shakes out, because there's a lot. Like I'm really interested. It just because you got the Abdul Carter situation, you got the whole quarterbacks. Like it's just a mess. Like even now, I'm hearing Cam Ward starting to waver. I think that like even that's now kind of up in the air. You got this Travis Hunter situation where I just want to see if he actually ends up playing both sides of the ball. Like there's a lot at stake. There's a lot of teams that want to move down, teams that want to move up, like, which means it's going to be a really boring first round.
Yeah, it's they are predicting chaos, which means nobody's going to trade, and it's just going to be like pretty much chalk picks. But there is one company that is anticipating kind of a wild draft, Pabst Light. From the makers of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Apparently they make a light version of that beer. I had no idea.
It's 2025, Mike. You got to meet the consumers where they are, and a light beer is that.
But I mean, I feel like Pabst is. You were fine on your own for how long? You don't need to go venturing off into light beers. Pabst, you're good.
True. I mean, that's
PBR,
fair.
and every hipster is going to buy it just because it's a PBR. Doesn't matter what it tastes like. Doesn't matter how old it is. Doesn't matter if it's skunked. Hipsters are going to buy it because it's PBR. They don't need to get a Pabst Light. People aren't getting a Pabst Light.
Well, wait, but is this the natural evolution of the hipsters starting to grow older, and so they do need the light because they're not actually hipsters anymore?
Well, maybe you might be right on that. Just like a bunch of hipsters that have now turned into dads that are like,
right,
can't handle the PBR anymore. I got to cut back on the calories.
Right,
so
can't hack it exactly.
Pabst Light.
They had to like grow up and get a real job because they need that health insurance shit because now their knees are going out and everything. Like
Tank said Pabst Light is like when Metallica cut their hair. I don't like it.
It's very uncomfortable.
I got to be honest. When I found out that Pabst Light was a thing, the first thing that popped into my mind was, man, this would have messed with Caesar's head so much because he would have been like, wait, Pabst Light? Did you know that's the light version of Pabst Blue Ribbon? He would have been so good. Bud Light it's the same as Budweiser. It's the light version of Budweiser. He would have lost his marbles.
God, I love that kid. I still talk to him every day. Like, cause you're right. Like fuck, what was it? I was pouring my beer and I was like, man, I was like, I wonder what Caesar would say about this. Because I felt like I had the exact same delayed reaction with the cowbell. Actually, speaking of cowbell, we should have hit that drop.
1, 2, 3, 4.
But yeah, also Liverpool's going to win the Prem. I know we're not talking soccer yet, but it's very bittersweet. Very bittersweet.
I just hope the Spurs don't get relegated. That's where I'm just holding on to. Please don't get relegated. My first year as a fan, and my team's going to drop out of the Premier League.
Okay, so you know what? Fuck it. Scotty's not here. What Scotty doesn't know ain't going to hurt him. We'll talk a little footy.
I love this on draft week. You're like, I'm taking control, and we're talking Premier League.
After I start
off with football, and you're like, no, soccer.
And I was so excited for the draft, and I still am too. But now we're into this because my dad texted me and one of his neighbors or something who's a Hotspurs fan, and I was just trying to commiserate with him and immediately threw you under the bus, of course. And I was like, look, I got a buddy who's a Reds fan and he's a Bengals fan, so he's looking for a fresh start. And so of course he chose Tottenham. And this is where he's landed. So I'm really sorry for, him cursing your team. He goes, no, we sucked long before that. So I think what it is you're getting the true Tottenham experience. You're going to stay up. I have to believe you'll stay up, but man, I don't know, man.
It's worrisome. Nottingham Forest this weekend put a hurting on him. And I was like, great.
To be fair,
I know Nottingham Forest is a decent team. They're up in
they're a very strong squad.
Yeah, they're look, they're going to get moved into Champions League next year. I get it. I understand, but it doesn't make it any easier to see your team drop in that table week after week after week. Yeah. But hey, at least they're in the Europa semis. That's something to hang their hat on.
You're right. It's something to, yeah. Because if you win Europa, then you qualify for Champions League next year, which, not to get too behind baseball or inside baseball with it, but that'll give you enough money to kind of like absorb the blow of missing the Prem for a season, and then you just got to win your way back in. So it could be not that bad if this plays out that way, but just win a couple matches.
Got to be honest. If Tottenham falls to the champions, to the second,
you're picking a new team,
right? No. That is the perfect time because Wrexham is on the verge of being promoted to that same division. So I could have Tottenham and Wrexham in the same league and get to watch my team play Wrexham throughout the year and have it actually mean something. Maybe they'll get to see Rob and Brian talk shit about the Spurs.
I think you're going to be okay, man. You're 15 points clear. Like, you should be all right.
Should be. Get back to football. So Pabst Light has teamed up with Kevin from the league, Steve Rezzasnini or whatever the hell his last name is. And they have a contest going, Mook. If you can pick the first 25 picks in the draft, 1 through 25, player and the team, they will give you free beer for the entire football season.
Oh my God.
Pabst Light for the entire season. But you have to pick player and team 1 through 25. It's impossible. There's no way. You have to predict every trade and know which team is going to move where. Like, look, it's not going to happen. There's, and I want to know what is harder to predict: the first 25 picks in the draft, or just like one session of March Madness, like the opening round first session games. Which is harder to pick?
Well, I've picked the first session of games correctly before, so to me that seems easy.
That was the point.
Yeah, sell out, winning money. I do think it's the March Madness one though, because like you have much more of like a known quantity, right? Like you've got a finite number of games, but there's only 2 outcomes to every game. And like, that's it. It's win or lose, because winning by 1 and winning by 100 doesn't really change the outcome. However, if you look at the draft, you've got to figure out what order the teams draft in first and foremost. Then you got to figure out what position that team wants and the player at that position. No, I don't want any part of that.
Deadline is tomorrow. So if you want to get in on this contest, the deadline's tomorrow, and you can see what you can pick for the first 25 picks in the draft. I got to be honest. After 4 or 5, I'm out. Like, I'm not even gonna come close. There's no way. Shubes with a great question. What's harder to pick, the entire top 10 or exactly 1 round, 1 trade? Like just correctly predicting a trade in the draft feels nearly impossible, let alone picking the first 25 picks in the draft. What a great marketing scheme by Pabst Light to go out there and be like, free beer for the entire season. All you got to do is just do this impossible thing that you can never, ever actually do. And to sweeten the pot, we got Kevin from the office, or from the league, to come pitch it as well. So he's like doing the talk show circuits promoting Pabst Light. Brilliant, Mook. This is a brilliant plan.
Is there like an easy button? Can you do the like simulate my picks like with bracketology? Is that possible? Because I want to enter, but then I'm also like, I don't know, man. Like, is there like, I just want to quick fill out my auto bracket, because otherwise it's too much to think about.
I mean, you got a better shot there, right, with an auto bracket than you do with actually trying to go through and pick the top 25.
Right, for sure.
Like, just randomly generating teams and players, you probably have a better shot.
I mean, let's be honest, man. In college football, when it comes to recruiting, and it's like, hey, you have these needs. I'm like, no, bitch, I want this 5-star. So, like, you get out of here with that. Like, I'm going after all the athletes. Like, I don't pay any attention to that crap. So, you know, you want me to take it for serious on the NFL scale and figure out, well, they really need a tackle and a guard. But then teams sometimes are like, yeah, but it's the first round, so we're going to go best available regardless of need. Like, dude, I don't care. Because then you got Woody Johnson, too, over there. Like, what does my grandkid say about his Madden rating? Or I guess it would be college football rating because, they haven't graduated Madden yet. This makes my head hurt, man.
It's brutal. It's a contest. By the way, just going back through some comments here. Matt Barr said that Tottenham losing, that's what I get for watching soccer. And Tank said me picking a team that breaks my heart is so on brand. And that's Tank, that's why I picked them. A buddy was like, you're a Notre Dame fan, you're a Reds fan. You want a team that has history, but hasn't really won anything lately, and usually will get your hopes up just enough and then completely dash your hopes. And that's Tottenham. So that's why I picked them, because of course that
lately they haven't won anything in like 100 years, man.
Yeah, that's lately. It's all relative.
You're right.
Soccer's been around for a long time, bro. Sarah wanting to know, is this an actual top 10 or like a wise guys top 10 with like 16 teams?
Oh, that's it. This is cake. Never mind. This is super easy. I'm going to just pick what Vegas picks.
So you're just going to go chalk on the odds for this?
Why not?
That's a terrible idea.
Why? Vegas is never wrong.
Oh, yeah, sure not. Mookie, Gabe has a question specifically for you. I feel like you're the most qualified to answer this one. Sip, chug, drain, pour. You win this contest, Pabst Light for the entire season for picking the top 25 draft picks in order. Win a 12-team parlay or win a bunch of Super Bowl prop bets. Sip, chug, drain, pour.
Let's see here. I'm going to chug the Super Bowl prop bets because those are fun, but like that's just like a really quick hit. It doesn't stay with you very long. You're not that proud about it. You can't brag that much about it. So I'm going to pour drain that one. 12-team parlay, like people get annoyed, but like that's serious money. You know what I mean? Like you're getting really good odds on that. So even for $1, like you're coming home and sitting pretty. So I'll sip on that. Or no, I'm sorry. I will chug that. But I'm going to sip winning this contest because that gets me drunk for a year.
But does it though?
I mean, at least gets the ball rolling, And yeah, free beer, man. Why not? Like I didn't have to put anything into this other than checking Vegas odds and clicking some buttons on a web page. Although I can't find it.
That is kind of shocking that you're not able to find that.
Pabst Light draft contest.
So I would go with winning a 12-team parlay as my sip. I'm chugging winning a bunch of Super Bowl prop bets, and then I am drain pouring winning this contest because one, not drinking as much beer as I used to, but two, if I was drinking beer, I probably don't want to be drinking Pabst Light, even if it is free. I'll spend a couple shillings and get something that's a little bit better. Shub said he would sip the 12-team parlay. Chugging it would make me want to keep on betting 12-team parlays, and winning those are so exponentially rare. I'll get hooked and eventually have to file for bankruptcy. Shubes also wants to know for both of us here. He specifically asked me, but I think this is for both of us. Which ND player do you most want to see follow Al Golden to the professional ranks into Cincinnati?
None of them. Fuck that guy for leaving us. He doesn't get anyone.
That's not how this works, Mook. You got to pick a player that you would want to see on the Bengals is essentially the question. Which Notre Dame defensive player do you want to go to the Bengals? Because he's following Al Golden. You got to pick a defensive player. I'm going Benjamin Morrison. That's my pick. That dude was a beast. And if he wasn't hurt last year, could have really helped out. Is Xavier's in the draft too, right? Watts? That's another good one too. And the Bengals could use a safety. So maybe Watts? I think I'd go Watts.
But I want him to have a good career. So
how dare you?
Just saying.
Watts too. Gabe is right there with me with Watts. Watts is the way to go. They give the Bengals a safety and get Watts. Although you can't go wrong with Benjamin either. You take Morrison. They need a cornerback too. Look, any defensive help for the Bengals is fine with me, which is why I'm not excited about the draft because they're gonna fuck it up. I have no faith in this front office. Yeah. They're gonna blow it. So what do I care about the draft? It's not exciting to me. Ever since they got Jamar, since then I've been completely out on watching the draft. I will. It used to be appointment television for me.
Oh my!
I would be in front of the TV watching every single pick. Now I'll just wait for the alerts on my phone.
Sorry, but I found the entry form for the drafting.
Okay.
And you know, it actually, like, can we screen share this? You think? Is that legit? Like,
send me the link. I'll screen share it.
No, I'll do it right now. Like, I've got it.
Go for it. This is great podcasting, Luke.
It is absolutely wonderful theater here. This thing that they've got is a freaking Google form. You just fill out your shit, your name and whatever. Are you 21? Yeah, I'm obviously not lying here at all. But then they want you to type in the player name for all these picks.
But not
actually, it doesn't say anything about the teams on here.
So you just have to get the player name correct.
I think you just got to get the player right.
All right. That's bananas. I love that it's a Google Doc.
I mean, right? Like,
that means there is
this shit.
There is some poor intern who's in charge of going through a spreadsheet that captures all of those answers and verifying. And you know what? The genius move on their part to make you type it in, because now when you incorrectly type somebody's name, they can be like, nope, sorry, that guy didn't get drafted. Nope. You spelled Watts with one T and it's got two T's. Sorry, no free beer for you. They're going to totally hold people to that. Genius move, making them type it in. Genius.
I mean, wow.
Gabe wants to know what's the tiebreaker. There's no tiebreaker, man. Nobody's getting 25. There's nobody getting 25.
It's Pabst Light. Like, they don't care. It's gonna cost them like $20 for the whole season. It'll be fine.
They're like, you know what? You both win. You both get to drink Pabst Light all year long.
It's like when, you know, they reset the equipment or whatever, and they do like a test run just to flush everything out, right? Well, this year, instead of them dumping that, they'll just give it to the two schmucks that won the competition. They'll be like, there you go. I wouldn't drink that if I was you. Or maybe just drink like two at a time. It might have some soap in it. Like, but hey, we fulfilled our end of the bargain.
Mook, the transfer portal has been getting all kinds of heat this week.
Oh man, this is wonderful. Isn't this not the chaos we've been waiting for?
10,000 players jumped in the portal. Like, it is insane, the number of players. And of course, you get your normal OWG takes of this is what's wrong with college football, and this is the end of college football, and this is ridiculous. One of the crazy things was there's a lot of dudes who have entered the portal who don't have any eligibility left. And this isn't just football. This is also basketball players. They're out of eligibility, but they've put their name in the portal because of the upcoming House ruling on the NCAA, where they may now get a 5th year of eligibility. Like, it might be no longer you're just limited to 4 years. You might now get 5 years of eligibility. So these guys who don't have eligibility are in the portal on the hopes that Congress is going to pass a law that gives them a 5th year of eligibility. Luke, this is banana land that we're living in here with this portal. This is crazy.
Or are we truly living in the land of opportunity? Because, Mike, how many people have made careers out of teaching people how to, like, enter their shit on LinkedIn and apply to jobs and be like, here's the cover letter you write, and da-da-da-da. How do we get a cut of this and be like, hey, man, you want to enter the portal? We'll help get your profile set up to the way that all the schools see you as the star athlete that you are. Just sign on with Craft Brewed Sports Talent Management
Portal Profile.
Portal Profiler, and even better, we could throw in riders. We could just make shit up as things are these days. We'll be like, and if you work with our firm, we guarantee you a 2-point ratings boost in this year's upcoming college football game. Guaranteed.
I don't think you could do that. I don't think.
Why not? They can't prove that we didn't do it, right?
It's fair. That's a fair point. This is wild though, Mook. Like, it's crazy to me. Yeah, agents.
But it's not agents, Gabe, because agents actually work. Like, and we're not trying to do any of that. We're just trying to, like, manage a little bit of paperwork, do a lot of hype, and then charge people for it.
You're basically what you're proposing here is, and I've never actually seen the transfer portal. I don't know exactly, but you're envisioning like a MySpace page and we're the ones that are coming in and adding the HTML so that like a Linkin Park song plays when you click on it, and it's got like glittery background or some shit, and we're in charge of like making their profile page stand out, is essentially what you're pitching here to the world.
Again, I like where your head's at, but that's a lot more work than I was thinking about. I'm saying we tell these dudes we'll help make sure their information gets loaded into whatever the portal actually is, and like the best way to get them seen, which really just means we'll like type their first name in the first name field and their last name in the last name field. And if they have it, include like a middle name, right? Like we'll just make sure the data entry is done right, but we'll tell them it's going to help them get seen by more schools.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Because first I was like, hey, we could make the portal. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like a lot of work. And you got to actually like run it and make sure it stays online. If we're the guys who just make it sound like it's really hard to put the data into the portal, but we'll do it for you, we could say, oh, we've got like integrations and stuff. And we use AI to like give your cover letter the best look and whatever. They don't know there's no fucking cover letter, right? Like we'll just link to their ESPN.com profile and be like, there, the dude did that. Like have at it, man. But they'll think it's like super fancy. And when people scoop them up, because people are just, they're suckers for the portal these days, we'll make a boatload of cash.
I love that you think that these players are the ones like physically entering themselves in the portal. Like you've got some lineman who's transferring, like pecking with one finger on his keyboard, putting himself into the portal instead of like his agent just being like some.
This is even better. This is even better because now we don't have to sell to the kids.
He's rolling.
We sell to the agencies because we're like, look, man, why keep an intern on your staff just to enter all this stuff? Contract with us. We'll handle it for you. We handle all these other agencies and players a year. So we got economies of scale. But meanwhile, we just like have our kids sit down and type this shit out like it's Mario teaches typing.
Back up real quick. Why keep an intern on your staff when you can contract out with us? Why keep unpaid labor on your staff that you don't have to pay?
Okay, fine. We don't say intern. We say junior employee. Junior employee.
And pay us instead, because they're not junior employees. They're just interns. You think an agent is entering this stuff into the portal?
No, he does not. But I'm saying he's probably already paying someone, but he's got to fill out their I-9 and stuff.
There's nobody nobody's getting paid to enter into the portal.
You know what? You're not selling this really good. Like, I don't like how you're like hurting our image in front of potential clients out there right now, Mike. Like, right. I love the gray area. It's the best part. It's not fraud. It's not fraud. We're providing a service. We may be middlemen people, but like we are providing a service. We're just making our work sound a little bit harder than it actually is, you know, because isn't that what marketing is, or sales? Like, isn't that the whole field? Like, ask Tim.
Tank wants to know: sip, chug, drain, pour agents, Mookie, Master P, or Don King?
Oh, yeah.
I am sipping on Don King.
I was gonna say that's an easy one.
Agent. That's just like the go-to. More of a promoter than an agent, but I'm still on board with that. I'm chugging Master P. And then I am drain pouring the shit out of the guy who just tried to convince an agency to fire unpaid interns and hire us to input data into a form. Mookie, drain pour.
Okay, but like, what about the places that don't have unpaid interns?
They do. They've got unpaid interns.
Every single agency.
If the agency doesn't have unpaid interns, they don't have money to pay you to enter it for them.
That's a good point. Yeah, because they're clearly not savvy enough to like actually make profit then, huh?
You don't need profit for interns. You just need a college to be like, yeah, all right. We'll
right, but that's what I'm saying. If you're not smart enough to take advantage of that kind of program, you're also probably not smart enough to be successful at business. So, like, yeah, you're right. You got no cash.
What do you make of players getting a 5th year of eligibility, Mook? Like, we've got these guys now that are like on their 9th year of eligibility because COVID, and then they were injured, and then they redshirted, and then they got injured again. So they're playing in like their 9th year of college sports. why do we even care about eligibility anymore at this point? Like I say, if you want to just stay in college forever, if you want to be the Van Wilder of Ohio State football, go for it, bro. Like just stay on forever. Stay as long as you keep taking classes, go for it. I don't care. Because you're going to get passed up by some young kid who's going to the league anyways. So by all means, stay in college for as long as you want, man. Stay as long as you want. Enjoy the time. Eligibility, just get rid of it.
But I love you went exactly where I was going to go with it, that they have to stay in school and they don't have to be there to play school, but they have to at least pretend, because I want to see all of the bogus majors and classes these guys get when they're there for like 9 years. And it's like, well, he's still finishing his undergraduate in general studies, but he has 15 minors. Like, I would just love to see how that legitimately plays out. But I think you're right. Like, who cares at a certain point, right? Like the NFL at some point, I think, is going to have to revisit their rule of not allowing people in before a certain age, which I'll argue might hold up just because they can always make the player safety argument. That would be pretty hard to refute. But outside of that, like if a guy wants to stay in college, like let him. The college gets to keep making money off of him. Now the guy himself can make money and still, support himself and his family. Like this is, I was going to say amateur athletics, but it's not. It's professional.
Yeah.
But at the lower rung, like, so whatever, like let it be AAA baseball, man. Like, why are we fighting this?
I agree. Sarah said maybe put a limit on scholarship years. Sarah, you don't even have to. They'll automatically do it themselves, because if you're
the schools they will select the players.
Yeah, if you're a quarterback who's been in college for 8 years and you're like still hanging on, you're going to lose that scholarship and lose that job to some hotshot that's coming in that's going to be going to the league in 2 or 3 years. Like eventually it'll work itself out. I say, let them do it. Let them do whatever. Go for it. You don't know eligibility requirements anymore. You can stay in college as long as you want. God bless you. Have fun and watch them just weed themselves out of college athletics, because it would happen eventually. You're not going to have, if you're good enough to play, you're going to go to the league. If you're not good enough to play and you stay in college, you're going to get passed up by somebody who's good enough to play anyways. What I think would end up happening is your top schools would still operate the exact same as they do now, but the MAC would be full of like 28 to 35-year-old men just hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, it'd be wonderful. It'd be like the Sunday rec league, like on TV though. And I'm assuming you would still have a situation where like they're playing like Alabama and stuff once in a while too. So like you get the geezers versus the I don't know, the young bucks or whatever. Convicts versus Catholics, but with geezers and stuff. It'd be funny to watch until one of them has a heart attack on the field, and then everything will be revisited.
You just get NIL deals for all these guys with like Depends and like osteoporosis medicine. And
Metamucil, Testofen and whatnot, right? Like
a whole new demographic for these companies to get in this NIL game, man. I'm telling you, get rid of eligibility. Let them play forever. I want to see a 60-year-old punter out there for Notre Dame just knocking down coffin corner punts at 60. That'd be amazing. Amazing.
Exactly, man. Like, fuck it, we ball. Like, if you can do the job, you have a spot on my team. If you can help us win football games, come on down. Doesn't matter how old you are, man. We'll find a spot, because I'm assuming this is still where we have like rosters of 145 people, right? Like, we have to keep that part of the tradition alive too.
Yeah, you gotta have a big old roster. I love it. I'm on board with this. We are starting to see kind of the next generation, because we had this week essentially the first ever trade in college football, Mook. Because if you remember, the quarterback from Tennessee, I'm a leaving. He left. He literally was like, I want $4 million in NIL. They were like, nope, we're not giving you $4 million. He was like, then I'm out of here. And they were like, all right, see ya, bye. Left and ended up enrolling at UCLA for a far lower price. I think it was like $1 million a year is what he got at UCLA. But then UCLA's quarterback was like, whoa. I just won the starting job. Now you're bringing this kid. You know what? I'm out. And then went to Tennessee. So we had quarterbacks completely just trade teams, thanks to NIL. That's the next step of this, right, Mook, is when we're going to start seeing trades made between teams. This one obviously wasn't coordinated beforehand, but that's the next evolution to this college football game, right?
I mean, maybe, but like, why even bother with trades? Like, because here's the thing: that kid that just went to Tennessee could also leave them in 6 months in the fall transfer portal, right? Like, he could leave without ever playing a game. So, like, how are you ever going to trade someone knowing that there is nothing actually binding in that contract or that agreement, and they could just peace out on whoever you're trading them to? Like, there's not going to. But what I want to know is, how much did the UCLA to Tennessee quarterback get in NIL money? Because how great would it be if it was like $1,001,001? Like, we will give you whatever that guy that screwed us over got plus $1 just out of spite. Oh,
Joey Aguilar was his name. Let's see what. Let's see if we can find his NIL deal. Go ahead.
I Googled Pabst Light draft contest earlier to try to find the page, and our thing popped up as the YouTube link for Sperm Racing poop shoes and the Pabst draft contest. We're getting juice, man. Like, all right, let's go.
So for the 12 people that end up searching that contest, our show link is going to pop up, and they're going to be like, "What is this
shit.
about racing sperm and poop shoes and what?"
Hold on, I got to make sure I click through. Want to make sure I get that search conversion, which is perfect because it drops me into where you go, people about racing sperm and whatever. What? And now I'm hearing myself talk about clicking the link. This is weird, man.
You don't have to click. You can turn it off, Mook. You don't have to keep that. I'm gonna keep searching for the NIL amount that Aguilar got. But Gabe is rightfully pointing out Tennessee doesn't have income tax. California does. So Nico leaves Tennessee. Not only does he not get the $4 million he was after, but then he's getting taxed like crazy on it under California taxes. Like, that dude, you want to talk about an all-time bag fumble. That dude fumble. We should lower his awareness rating on college football 26 just easily, based on this.
And like, what is it? His blitz detection or something too. Like, that's, you hate to see it, yet at the same time, it's like the young kid's learning the lesson. He's growing up. You know, it's good to see. Man, because I got to tell you, whoever he was working with is now looking for a new gig. So if you want to come,
it was his dad.
Oh, man. Oh my God. Can you imagine that Easter breakfast or brunch or whatever? Like, whew.
Brutal.
That had to be savage. Yeah.
Absolutely brutal. I got one more college football story for you, Mook. So we talked about the playoffs and how the Big Ten and the SEC now holds all the cards. They get to determine what happens with the college football playoffs. Basically, all the other conferences just ceded over the power to the Big Ten and the SEC. And they were like, you know what? You guys deal with this now. So they've already said they want 4 auto bids each for the conference, talking about expanding to 14 teams. But there's a new wrinkle because apparently a lot of people aren't up on the Big Ten and the SEC getting 8 of the bids out of 12 or 14 teams. So there's a new wrinkle that they have now potentially floated out there. Ratings may come into play to determine college football playoff selection.
We've done it. We've done it. We have completed the circle. We have come back around.
They have laid it bare and they have said, listen, this is all made for TV. We are not trying to find the best team or the champion.
You mean TV ratings?
Yes,
oh my God. I thought you meant like poll. I thought you meant we were going back to the BCS. And I was gonna be like, you know what? I'm all in on that. You're talking about TV ratings?
TV ratings. Like, they're going to look at viewership and go, well, we're down to Alabama or SMU. Alabama pulled a 7.9. SMU only averaged a 2.5. So we're going to give this one to Alabama. Alabama gets the nod in this one. Like, And they said it could impact like the number of bids a conference gets. Like the conference with the better TV ratings will get more bids to the college football playoffs. They are not hiding it anymore, Mook. It is no longer this, oh, we're trying to get the best 12 teams out there and all. No, this is a made for TV spectacle, and we are going to look at the numbers and figure out who pulls the most, and they are going to enter into our made for TV tournament to make you guys suck up as much football as we can.
I hate it. I hate it so much until I remember we root for Notre Dame, and I fucking love it, man. This is genius. Why did it take so long to get here? This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. We are not affected by this whatsoever. If nothing, it's in our favor. Mike, embrace the era that is 2025 and get on board with this. Let's go.
I love that you are now on board. You sat for a second, you thought about it, you're like, you know what? It helps Notre Dame.
Yep.
So now I'm on board. I
wasn't
to be
mad
board,
about. And like
this
isn't a thing that's ever going to change either. Like our viewership is never going to go down or be in question whatsoever. So like, yeah, let's fucking go, man.
All right, there you have it. Mookie on board with TV ratings being a possible criteria for selection to the college football playoffs. Keep that same energy when Notre Dame is no longer on NBC. I'm just saying.
No.
Hold
on
a minute. No, keep that same energy, Mook. Keep the same energy. Don't try to backtrack.
Why would that ever be a thing you would put into this universe? Why would that ever be a situation that would happen?
You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. Mookie, Scott's here. Let's talk baseball.
Here's the pitch. Oh, shit.
Scott, welcome in, man.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Glad you could be late for our anniversary. Appreciate you.
I mean, much like my real life anniversary, I dropped the ball. So, you know, here we are. Happy anniversary, bro.
Happy anniversary, man. Here's what we've covered so far. Let me catch you up to speed. Pabst has a light beer. They're trying to give away free beer if you pick 1 through 25 correctly in the draft. We had our first really like quarterback trade in college football. I've decided that you should no longer have any eligibility. Let a guy play until he's 60 in college football. Nobody cares.
Yes.
We don't let them do whatever they want. And then what you kind of heard the very end of, TV ratings now may be impacting college football playoff selection.
No, thank you. Yeah, no, thank you on that last one. It's mostly because Ohio State has too high ratings, and we don't need any more excuses for them to get in. So no, thanks.
Fair enough. But Notre Dame, Mookie, Notre Dame, we're good. We're in.
We're good. We're covered. I mean, I'm in. Let's go.
Tank said that Scott needs walkout music for when he shows up late. We need like music to hit so that we can be
My God, that's Scott's music.
Scott Kaiser. It's Scott Kaiser.
I'm in. I agree with this. Tank has the best ideas.
He really does. It kind of gave you a little bit of your own walkout music switching over to baseball because there's some good baseball stories this week, fellas. First off, want to talk about what happened this weekend because I don't know if you guys know, the Pope died. The Pope kicked the bucket. Day after meeting JD Vance, he was like, you know what? I'm good now. I'm out. Like that. I have no more faith in this humanity. So I'm done. Just take me home. So the Pope dies. Immediately after that happened, fellas, as predictable as it could be, the bets started flooding in on the Nick Castellanos home run prop bets. They started pumping money into Nick Castellanos. His odds to hit a home run that day went from about plus 680, dropped into the plus 475, 560 range, depending on the site that you were at. FanDuel at one point completely locked it so that you could not bet to hit a home run. They were just like, there's too much money coming in on this. We can't keep up with the odds changing. You can't bet on Castellanos to hit a home run. Typical like dumb sports fan ideas of like, something crazy happened. Castellanos got to hit a home run. Mookie, how much money did you put on Castellanos to hit a home run after you heard the Pope died?
Nothing. I didn't know this is a thing. What's the connection?
Jesus, are you kidding me right now? Nick Castellanos was up at the plate when Thom Brenneman let out the game on the Reds game, and he hit the home run during the apology that made that apology famous and turned it into a meme. Since then, Nick Castellanos has hit home runs after very, very significant world events consistently. If something crazy happens or somebody dies or they're eulogizing somebody, Nick Castellanos hits a home run nearly every time. I say nearly because in this game after the Pope died, Nick Castellanos went 0 for 4 with 2 Ks. So a really shitty game from Castellanos.
He was trying, though. He was swinging at least. I mean, that's something. How mad is FanDuel or DraftKings now that they locked it, though? Like,
I mean, I'm surprised they did, though, because I felt like easy money. I mean, I know it's happened a bunch of times, but, like, come on. The likelihood that he was going to do it, like, I'd have left that ride. If I was Vegas, I'd be like, this is why we always win, boys.
I think it was just that the odds were so high that on the off chance.
Yeah, for sure.
The payout on that would have been awful. Awful. God, look, you pulled it up.
I think he homered twice in 9/11 for each tower. Gabe, 9/11 reference, Matt Barr.
Keep the streak alive. That's one. Never forget.
Hold on a minute.
Do we need a 9/11 drop now?
Yes. Yes.
It's
I'm not going to say what that sounds like, but yes.
It's got to be Caesar pointing out that we have a streak going. It's just got to be that. It doesn't even reference 9/11. It's just Caesar saying we've got a streak, or however you said it.
You guys talked about it a little bit on Backwards K last night, but the Luis Arraez injury at first base, he's running down the line, runs into a brick wall of a human being, had to get carted off the field, like just a nasty collision at first base. Did you see what the think pieces are putting out now, Scott? Have you seen what bloggers in the baseball world are saying?
Actually, I heard somebody say it almost immediately. In fact, if it might have been either another game or I was listening to something shortly after it happened, and I heard what the idea was. And honestly, it was one of those things that I've never, ever heard of being brought up for professionals. But when they said it's coming, it's probably not even like a thing. It's in college. It's at every other level, but the safety first base bag.
Safety first base bag. Mookie, do you know what the safety first base bag is?
I do, and I have long wondered exactly that. Why not have it?
Because it's stupid, man. This is baseball. This is baseball. That's why we don't have it. This is baseball, damn it. We don't need this isn't Sunday church league playing softball with a bunch of old. This is baseball. There's a base. All right. You run through that base. Sometimes you're going to get trucked. Sometimes you step on the base weird and you fall on your back and your leg flops around like this, like Jason Kendall's did. That's baseball, man. We don't need a safety base. This is bullshit. I'm going to be so mad if they put in a safety base at first base. I'm going to be so mad.
Who got hurt? Because I feel like I need to see this.
No, you don't.
No, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see the Jason Kendall injury when he was.
I've seen that.
It was disgusting.
Who is the guy that just got hurt, though?
Oh, Luis Arraez.
Yeah, Luis Arraez crashed into a dude, and then he had to get carted off, and he got put on IL for concussion. So he got carted off the field in that Sunday night game.
Thank God he wasn't.
And just so we're clear, I'm not going to die on this hill. I'm fine with the safety bag. It does not bother me. I mean, I honestly, I don't know if in the pros it's going to make all that much of a huge difference. I have a feeling that guys are still going to run just instinctually run through the bag and not worry about the safety bag. You might prevent some collisions, but I don't think that this is like a really big deterrent to that, because in the pros, it's much different than having it in little league and, the church softball league, like you mentioned, because guys aren't, you're not running. It's not 250-pound dudes running into each other in those leagues. Like this is just going to be like running at full speed, professional athletes. Like you running into Patty from, around the corner. You're going to knock her out probably, but you're going to be fine. Like these two behemoth ball players, these guys running into each other, and it's like, it's like two cars colliding. So, it's not something that I care too much about, like, because I don't think that it's a really big deal. So,
the guys, I'm pretty sure the guys that had the collision are neither that big. Like, it looks bad. He got knocked the fuck out. Ain't no doubt about that. But this Dubon character, I don't think he's that large.
Sure about that, Mook?
Dude, I think you're underestimating how big like professional athletes are. Just by nature. I was like, I've made that mistake with baseball players too, because they don't look inherently that big compared to other athletes. But in person, baseball players are they're huge guys, man.
He's 6'173". The guy.
So you're saying you can take him?
Sure.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, why not? That's not that big. I would run full speed on into that guy. No problem. Not even worried about it. I outweigh him. Same height. I outweigh him. Let's see him. Well, fuck. We can Oklahoma drill this right now.
Well, I was just gonna say pause.
Pause.
Hey.
Look.
Hey.
Wait. What?
Consent is important. All right. Consent is important. But yeah, I'd Oklahoma drill with this kid. We can.
Whoa. Are we still what? Are we still talking about? Yeah, are we still talking about baseball?
Mauricio.
I'd Oklahoma drill this kid.
Mauricio Dubon.
I would love to see you get into an Oklahoma drill with a professional athlete of any sport. Just name a sport. You in an Oklahoma drill with a professional athlete would be hilarious.
Let's go. I think you guys underestimate my just desire for not violence, but just like I love a good scrap, man.
Mook, they would be up and tackling you before you got to your feet.
Fair enough. I'd adapt. I'd figure something out.
You. Every professional athlete, pick a sport. The athlete in that sport would destroy
figure skating.
You. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. You gotta remember, these are world-class athletes, man. Like it's not.
Hold on a minute. We didn't say Olympic athlete. I mean, I'm saying like whatever the Major League Baseball equivalent of figure skater would be,
which would be like Olympic level skating. Like that's the pros of ice skating.
That got eliminated in like regionals or something.
What?
Because Olympics is the cream of the crop, man.
And so is Major League Baseball.
Cream of the crop.
No. But how many Major League Baseball players are there versus how many Olympic figure skaters are there? There's like in men's singles, there's like what 30, 40 maybe. Major League Baseball, there's hundreds of dudes.
Tank wants to see a web series.
I'm in. Here's the thing. Like, look, I'm not. I would admit when I get my ass whooped.
If you are up for this, Mook, I promise you, we make a lot of empty promises on the show. And now that we are turning 9, it is time to turn over a new leaf. And we need to follow through with the things we say on the show. If you agree to this, Mookie, I will personally try to set this up with athletes and film it, and we can put it on the internet. Just you and an athlete would do like an interview with an athlete, and then you do the Oklahoma drill with them and get destroyed. And then we put that on the internet and do it again the following week, and then do it again the following week, and just every week until you finally quit and admit that any athlete would destroy you.
So first of all, I think Tyson said it correct. You guys underestimate Mookie's desire for violent man-on-man contact. I love sport. I love athletics, and I'm willing to go out there and lose. I just want to compete, man. I think it would be a blast. And then Sarah hit us with, there are less figure skaters following the recent plane crash. And Tank is absolutely right. But what if I win? what if I win? And you don't know unless you step up to the plate and you try to swing that bat, even if that 80-mile-an-hour heater makes you look like a tiny, small child while you're quivering and crying and peeing down your leg. You still got to step in the box.
I would like to see you Oklahoma drill with high school athletes. Like, let's get some.
No, I don't know if I can handle that amount of. They would mop me.
So you're saying a professional baseball player would not mop you, but a high school athlete would. That's
no. Sorry. I'm not trying to go up against. I'm not trying to Oklahoma drill with like an NHL player. That'd be stupid.
What if we could get a Cyclones player?
I'd do that because that'd be fun. That'd be a fun time. They'd be a good deal.
We've got to make this.
He'd smoke me. Like, let's not confuse ourselves.
We'll get all the waivers necessary, but I want to try to do this as a recurring series.
If we ran it like 5 times, I'd get one, and it would make it all worth it.
Mookie, you would get destroyed on the first. You would get destroyed on the first hit, and then not want to do any more. You wouldn't run the other 4 after the first hit.
Get out.
Matt Barr, rightfully pointing out,
you haven't learned anything.
High school athlete is better than a professional athlete.
Well, because I was thinking high school football player versus professional figure skater.
We keep going back. We keep talking shit about these figure skaters. Either you really do want to fuck one, or you have mad disrespect for the figure skating community. One of the two.
I'm just trying to calibrate to the sport that I think I'd stand a chance against. I went through baseball, football, hockey, basketball.
What would Brian Boitano do?
You know what? No, you know what, Mike? I'd take an MLS player easy.
No, you wouldn't. Have you seen them?
Again, man, these dudes are huge.
No. Have you seen an MLS player? Some of those dudes are tiny.
He said some
of them that are very tiny. Like, what's Messi? 5'3". Like, there are dudes that are small.
Okay, fine, but you're average.
No. Here's the thing. Even the small dudes have quads.
Yeah, they're jacked.
Entire upper body. They would destroy you, Mook.
Here's the real take on this whole thing.
Destroy you.
Sarah saying that Tanya Harding will fuck you up, and even at her advanced age with no crowbar, I got my money on Tanya.
Yep, Tanya's fucking.
And again, I would just be down for the experience because I feel like that'd be a great story of fun times.
I got my ass whooped by Tanya Harding in the year 2025.
Like, how many people can say that out there right now?
And then there's a collective who from about 3/4 of the audience.
Oh, yeah, see, man.
Guys, I gotta throw some meat on. I got a hot take.
Sizzle.
I came up with. Oh, we should get the. I gotta get some music for it, right? We gotta. Fire up the barbecue. It's been a while since we've done this one, but it hit me this weekend as I was watching the Reds beat the Orioles 24-2. And during that game, the Orioles brought out a position player to pitch. Scott, hot take. If you bring out a position player to pitch, the game is over at the end of that inning. Done. Doesn't matter. You have given up. If you're putting your shortstop or your backup outfielder on the mound, you quit, you wave the white flag, we're finishing out this inning, you get your at-bats, we're done, going home, done. Game over.
Actually, I love that idea because when I saw that position players went for multiple innings and that's why the score got up like that, I'm like, they do need to draw the line somewhere. And if we're not going to throw actual pitchers because they're worried about injuries and all that, then yeah, why should anybody be subject to sitting around watching position players? Yeah, absolutely. Finish out that inning, call it a day, everybody go home.
Why do you get to have your pitchers be safe and not injured, but my batters can potentially throw out their back trying to swing through their shoes on a 68-mile-an-hour meatball and bullshit. The game is over. If you pull out a position player to pitch, we finish the inning. We're done. We go home early. Mookie, how do you feel about this rule proposal for MLB?
It makes sense, right? Like, if you've stopped competing, then why are we here?
Yeah. I mean, the game's over at that point when you're putting
no one's
position players and they're up by 20 runs. Like,
when has anyone ever won a game where a position player is pitched? Like, go ahead.
Yeah, nobody's ever come. Nobody's ever come back.
I think there have been instances where the team is up by 20 and they throw a position player out there just because they don't want to waste their.
Okay, sure.
So there are likely instances. Where
it doesn't. The outcome of the game, by that point, to what you said, is set. The outcome is locked in. We're just we're going through them. Or here, same thing, different take, Mike. Running clock. The minute you have a position player take the mound, set a 15-minute timer, get in as many innings as he can.
Yeah. All right, good. I am glad because I was met with a little bit of resistance online. I'm glad to hear that you guys are on board with this. It makes me feel a little bit validated.
Wait, what's the argument against this? Like they should have to finish.
They wanted safety bases instead.
You gotta finish the game. Just finish the game out. Like, so what? It's just a strategy to be able to take
7-inning double headers now. I mean, come on, man. Like that whole 9 innings nonsense is no.
Well, and I mean, it's all kind of null and void too. I mean, I'm assuming that the same people don't like the starting runner and extra innings on second base. So, and I'm not crazy about that rule, but you know what? It gets extra innings done quicker, and I'm not here to watch 23 innings 4 or 5 hour games because of that nonsense. Like it goes to extra innings and I'm like, all right, cool. At least I know now there's kind of like this finite thing. Like max you're going to get is like 3-4 innings extra. And I'm cool with that. So this for the sake of that saves time, saves everybody's energy, it, prevents injury. Like, yeah, come on. Wrap it up.
Oh, that'd be perfect. They could just put out the wrap it up box.
Yeah, exactly. You put in a picture and the house music starts playing playing off the team that, decided that was the end of it.
All right, good. We're all in agreement.
I'm also going to get the Dodgers on a couple of times like, motherfucking Shohei, he's a position player. Game's over. We win. Son of a bitch. He came out to close. Nope, not happening. We won.
Starts in the first inning. Player, this one's only going 1.
We're going home early, boys.
Some fans would be so happy because they're like, yes, we beat the Dodgers. Yes.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a cheap way to, snag a victory. Like, I'm trying it at least.
Oh, that's amazing.
Vinci.
Let's switch gears here. Let's talk. Scott missed the little soccer talk earlier, but I do have soccer stories that Scott at least would be interested in. There's a fan that's suing the U.S. women's national team for $100 million.
I love the cut of his jib. I love it.
He's saying that they defrauded the U.S. government and their fans because they were, quote, not trying to win the She Believes tournament against Japan. He's got the U.S. national team. Some dude that's just like
is suing FIFA.
The U.S. women's national team, the U.S. Soccer Federation, even went so far as to say they should not be allowed to be shown on TV. And people should not be able to bet on games that contain the U.S. women's national team because it goes to, if they're not trying, if they're willing to throw a game, then you shouldn't be able to bet on them. They should be taken off of books until this case is resolved. This sounds like a crackpot, like just a crazy person. But what a genius way to get your name in the news. Just sue the U.S. women's national team for $100 million because they lost a game. That's crazy. Meanwhile, the men's team is out here looking like shit. And you're like, nah, they're fine. They just suck. We're not going to sue them. These girls are supposed to be good, and they're losing. Screw this. Mookie, how do you feel about this lawsuit?
This is so dumb.
No, dude, this is amazing. I would do this in a heartbeat, and I'd bang my fist on the table, and it is straight like Ezel and Friday. I'd be like, but we can settle out of court for an afternoon with Alex Morgan.
And she'd be like, great, we're going to bring my 2 kids along as well and go to the
I don't care. I didn't specify what the afternoon had to entail. I just want to hang out with her. I just want to be in her presence for an afternoon. We can settle out of court for that. You either pay me $100 million or I get to be in the presence of Alex Morgan. Who blinks first?
Sir, we can't arrange that. We first of all don't own our players, and second of all, she retired. We can't do that for you. I'm sorry.
Well, then I'll see you in court. Lawyer up, son.
You better lawyer up.
Yeah, the U.S. women's national team. I mean, they don't pay their players. You know, they don't pay their lawyers.
Oh no, you damn sure better believe they pay their lawyers. How do you think they don't pay their players? By the paying the lawyers.
Hold on. We need to back up here for a second. Scott, you and I both need to be quiet for a second. Mookie, I'm going to need that lawyer up one more time, please.
You better lawyer up.
I'm assuming that's supposed to be a half-ass attempt at boiler up only for lawyer up. Is that what you're
I don't remember what show it's from, but there's some show where you better lawyer up. That's right.
Okay, yeah, I don't know that. I don't know that reference.
I had no idea. I thought it was like some well-known thing. And then Mookie.
Yeah, it's from Workaholics.
Oh, yeah, I've never watched Workaholics. I've heard it's good, but I've not watched it.
I never got into that one either. But I also have heard that's a really solid show.
Yeah, no, Tyson, but I am drinking a cannabis-infused beverage. Also, is that his cousin's?
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, he called it out earlier that, as Gabe said, he did not have Kanye sticking his cousin's dick on his 2025 bingo card.
Hey, wait, okay, so I saw that. Do we believe that? Do we think that this is Kanye being Kanye?
Anything Kanye says ever, except when he says, I think I'm a Nazi. Like, I'm leaning towards you might believe that one.
Well, I did also believe him when George Bush didn't like black people. I believe that.
But no, I don't believe anything Kanye says. I feel like this is just, I'm going to see how crazy I could talk and get people to still go along with it and believe me. And this is what he came up with as one of the craziest things he could say. I don't believe
he learned from our commander-in-chief. So I guess.
Well, that's what it is. He's jealous that, Tesla bro and Donnie are getting all the shine, and Sarah
getting all his shine.
Sarah saying, wait, ye sucked a pee?
It's yay, but yes. According to himself, he said he sucked his cousin's dick until he was 14.
Oh my God.
Hit the rainbow drop.
Mookie, hold on. Mookie, this is for you.
Hey, I've seen white people before. You know what I'm saying? But you motherfucker, man, you white as mayonnaise, man.
Yeah. Back up, because I need to do Mookie reading that.
The P?
Yeah, I was like, shit. I was like, it's one of these two, and I know I'm not gonna get it right. We'll go with the one that rhymes.
Back in 2003, we were all listening to College Dropout by everybody's favorite rapper at the time, Kanye West.
He said, "Ye sucked a pee." That's the next name. That's the name of the next album. Ye sucked a pee. Y'all cop that new Ye sucked a pee?
I mean, hey, look, if it sells, right?
Wow.
There's a soccer match, guys, in England. This is in the York Football League Premier Division. So it sounds like it's a bunch of dudes who are completely washed, like just out there for the love of the game. Still would beat Mookie's ass in an Oklahoma drill.
Oh yeah, those
dudes and like
those games are more rugby than soccer.
Well, yeah. Apparently, these games don't fuck around because there were two teams that were playing. Very close game at halftime, 2-1. The one goal was scored on a controversial penalty call, and apparently it was very controversial because the referee went to his locker room to get some water at halftime. He came back out after halftime, abandoned the game. Game is over. We're done. What are you talking about, ref? Why is the game over? Because somebody shit in my shoe. There was a person at the game, player or fan, it's undetermined. They don't know who did it. Went into the referee's locker room and shit in his shoe.
I gotta shake this guy's hand after he washes it, of course, but I gotta shake this guy's hand. Fantastic.
Mookie, what is happening with your sport, dude?
This has got nothing to do with my sport. What was this league again? English?
This was the York Football League.
Yes, English. This is a low-level English league. Like, this is basically wreck sports in America, doing crazy shit to officials that in matches that don't matter. Like, it's the British, man. I honestly, and where my mind went first was like, I'm kind of impressed because there's an episode of Broad City where someone shits in a shoe, and I always remember watching going, that's really good aim. That's impressive to be able to get it in there and pull it off.
Thank you for that, because I had questions. Because, like, listen, I've never been that mad. I've watched a lot of Reds games. I've watched a lot of Notre Dame games where they've let me down. I've never been so mad that I've been like, oh, I just want to go shit in his shoe. Like, at that point of rage. So,
That's not even crossed my mind. Like, I am so pissed. Oh, if that guy's shoe was anywhere close to me, I swear to Christ, I'd shit in it.
You know what my favorite part about it is the story where it's someone who is not affiliated with the game at all. They're just like they're a drifter, or they're the town derelict. They're just floating around, and they shit in shoes, and everyone around there knows it. But apparently that referee, and they just happened to shit in his shoe that day. And he's like, nope, that's it. No more footy for you. I'm out of here. It's like, oh, come on, man. That's just Steve. Like, he shits in shoes, man. Like,
Steve, come on, man. That's
like,
about this town.
Yeah.
So you touched on it though, Mook, because I like I said, I've never been in the headspace of like, man, I just want to shit in a shoe. But if you were to do this, is the approach that you hover over the shoe and just hope that like it lands properly, or are you picking up the shoe and kind of like keeping it behind you, risking getting it on the hand, but bringing the target much closer to the old starfish? How are we going here for shit in the shoe?
9 years in, we've reached our apex.
Wait for the next story. This is just the primer. This is.
My favorite was pre-show when he was explaining to his children why it said "poop in a shoe" on the screen. Title. And the explanation was pretty much that. He's like, "Yes, someone pooped in a shoe." They're like, "Why?" He goes,
my God.
No, that's a great question. That's why we're going to talk about
That's
it.
why.
Yeah.
So, are you lifting the shoe, or are you just hoping for the best?
I think it depends on the kind of shoe. I think that's really one of the key points here.
Sneaker, just a plain old sneaker.
Are we talking high top though? Or are we talking Chuck Taylor?
We're gonna go a low top Jordan, like just a low top Jordan, like just a.
Whoa! We ain't shitting in no Jordans. Back the fuck up. We pretended some Kobe's, whatever Kobe you want.
Kobe's. Fair, fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we ain't shitting in no J's.
No, you know what? Let's just even go for it. It's your typical white New Balance dad shoe.
Which
no, it's Adidas. Period. Adidas.
The Kobe thing cracks me up because I remember last week before the show when Mike's kids were in there and they're like, "Dad, what is that?" And he goes, "Oh, it's Kobe Bryant." And they go, "Well, but why is he crying in a plane?" And Mike just kind of froze. I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to hear how he handles this one." Yep, and he just brushed it to the side.
You just don't handle it.
You just don't handle it. You just don't bring it up. Also, yeah, you're like he's just.
That is the face of a man whose shoe got shit in.
Why are you out here shitting in my shoe?
Imagine flying home on that helicopter after somebody shit in your shoe. Talking about a bad day.
Sarah is saying, what was the consistency? Was it a big turd? Pebbles? Squirts?
I don't know, because
was this premeditated where you've held it in for just this moment? Did you take something to support this effort?
Yes, there are so many questions. Like, okay, one thing to get so mad that you want to shit in somebody's shoe. Another thing to be able to do it on command, like to just be like, now's the time. I got a minute here.
This is the moment I've trained for.
It's a fascinating story. I want to find who did this and just talk to them. Just be like, what was going through the old noggin? I'll
take them on the Oklahoma drill.
You know they're tossing a turd right at you before the.
Hey, you know what? Exactly. I know. I've watched their tape. I know what's coming. Two can play at that game. I got.
We don't have a transition for this, but I found Mookie's next sport to bet on. Scott, you know how at like basketball games they'll do the baby race where they put the babies on one thing and then like. At the foul line or something, and then at half court is like another parent. And they're like, "Ready, go!" And the babies have to crawl.
Oh, yeah.
So they do the baby race.
I think those
apparently we've taken the baby race to the next level because
Are we punting the babies to the parents now?
Not quite.
Are
We're
we
going younger.
launching them?
We're going younger.
Younger than babies?
Younger than babies. Because
Are we skeeting?
We're
Yeah.
skeeting.
We're skeeting on the court?
We're gonna skeet because there is a doctor student, some guy in California who has partnered with a scientific research study trying to raise awareness about men's virility and how like the sperm.
Dude, are they gonna have an ejaculation contest?
They're going to have a sperm race where two students, one from UCLA and one from USC, who have been given vitamins, supplements. They said they've had to drink pineapple juices, like chug pineapple juice, all of these things to try to help increase their sperm count and their motility. And they're going to race their sperm. It is going to be a sperm race, UCLA versus USC, and it's happening this Friday at a theater in Los Angeles where they're expecting 5,000 fans in attendance. Unbelievable.
How? How do we race sperm? Like how is what?
Is it like the goldfish races they do, where they have like a little thing with water and they've got a lane divider and they just kind of plop the goldfish in the bottom or the one end and they see how fast it takes them to swim to the other end? Is it kind of like that?
Essentially, there's going to be a course that is designed to be like a fallopian tube, and they are going to put both specimens in, and with a magnifying glass view that the audience will be able to watch, you're going to legit get to see the sperm swim throughout to try to reach the end, and they'll determine who has the fastest sperm between these two kids.
What is this timeline? What?
This is what
although happens. I mean, my original thing, I think I'd be more. I just two guys standing on the court. Who's gonna who skeets the farthest and go further, higher, faster, baby?
I don't know whether I should say consent or pause.
I mean, you give yourself consent to compete. Now, Mookie, I feel like you could take on a professional athlete in this contest. I feel like you've got a shot. I feel like you might be able to propel that jism just a little bit further than your average athlete. I think let's film this.
Wait,
I mean, you're not taking on like Antonio Cromartie or anybody like not that tier, like not one of these ones that Tyreek Hill with their like 42 kids and shit. But you're average. Like Phillip Rivers is probably kicking your ass too.
Okay, well that clarifies something because I thought you were proposing that I take on the sperm in the Oklahoma drill. I'm like, I feel confident about that one too. I think I could take them.
No, I got the sperm in that one.
It would be hard to find him. He would be pretty sneaky.
Guys,
this shows something.
Do you know how many sources I checked to make sure I wasn't getting like
catfish?
Like, so many articles. Like, there is no way that this is a real thing. And then TMZ had like the actual guys who created this, interviewed them, and then KTLA did a story on it. I was like, I'm sold. I've got double confirmed sources that we are actually getting a sperm.
This is wild.
That's good journalism right there.
Now, did Vegas shut down the lines for this? Is there too much money coming in for this, or are we gonna keep them?
You can bet on it. I haven't.
Of course you can. Of course you can.
Excitement. Why did you get so excited?
This is a 50-50 shot, man. Like those are good odds.
I like the idea of having a low sperm count but still winning the race. Like, some older competitor goes in there and is like, yeah, my count may not be there, but it doesn't matter if my swimmer gets there first. Yeah, only one has to get there, right? So like your odds are lower, but you still compete.
The ones that are left are soldiers. Those are some dogs right there.
Yeah, they've persevered.
Mike, did you find the odds, or do I need to put that in my Google search?
Hold on, I'm laughing too hard because I found their website and look at this video video. That
The world's first sperm
they
race.
have these dudes come to a boxing ring, and then they're looking at him like a just magnifying.
Like, do you get to see him jerk off into the cup, or like, did they just skip past that
better
part?
Because there needs to be integrity in this. Okay,
Well, they definitely. I mean, they definitely have to. Like, how else
they
they
sign
get
boxers' gloves? When you wrap your boxers' gloves up, someone better be signing that sperm cup.
It's gonna be like the hose. It's gonna be like the hose and the NBA hose. They'll be sperm jacking out here collecting condoms and shit. Yeah, this is my entry. Bullshit, it is.
Oh god, I'm still trying to find. Okay, I think I might have just found an article.
Okay. But is this televised, or is this just like a web video? Like, are they gonna do it live on the internet? Like, how? Because I mean,
Miller for 3. Oh, he backed it in. We're going to overtime.
You shot early. You shot early.
Nope. It said live 1:30 on
29:59, 1:30 now.
call me intrigued though. Like, I mean, is this gonna be on Netflix? Is it gonna be like the same type of thing for the Tyson fight, where it's just like, oh, midway through it cut out?
This is, guys, I am reading more about this. This is a marathon. I assumed
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
I assumed the sperm race was gonna be like the 100-yard dash. You got these fast little fuckers shooting out there. Race is over. Who wins? Whatever. No, this is so it's gonna be on a video feed, magnified 40 times to display the spermatozoa, and they'll track the sample's progresses. Sperm typically swim at about 5 millimeters per minute, meaning each race will take at least 40 minutes.
Jesus.
Are you fucking kidding?
Swim through on a screen for 40 minutes?
Man, I ain't got that kind of time. Get the fuck out of here. What, you think we're watching baseball?
That commentary is gonna be even more awkward than my club football commentary video. I can promise you that. Like, I mean, what are they gonna talk about for 40 fucking minutes on this thing? Oh my goodness.
Well,
Yikes.
it's probably just a commercial for fertility, which is what they're
Yeah,
doing.
I mean, also, I'm out at 40 minutes. Like, there's no way. I'm not sitting
makes
around
it to
for 40
38,
minutes.
and it's like 38, 39. You want 40 minutes? No, I'm out there. That's the limit right there.
Yeah.
Sarah said, I hope they put graphics on like Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I mean, can we do like the Simpsons animation? Because can they animate this shit?
Eat my shorts, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm in if they do something creative like that. Like, they can get me back in.
Well, Sarah earlier,
But if it's
said
just two
something
guys
about-
sitting there talking about sperm swimming on the screen, like, I feel like it's gonna get pretty old pretty quick.
I mean, we could make one of them could be the Homer sperm.
That was when Homer was telling the story of I think Lisa's birth. And it comes back out of the story, and Homer's like he's like swimming like a sperm. Good shit.
9 years. 9 years.
This is 9 years. Peak content, baby.
God, when I saw these stories, though, I was like, what perfect stories.
I mean,
like 9 years
seriously,
of
dude, this is some craft brewed sports shit right here. Like, this is made. Like, I'm glad that you also confirmed that you went and like made sure you weren't getting fucked with. Like,
well, when you see a headline that's like,
right? I mean, it sounds insane.
Coming down LA, you're like, hold up, wait, what? Let's click on this and read some more about it because I'm intrigued. I need to know what's happening here with this. And then I'm like, this is all bullshit. There's no way this is real. Show me a source. That's like, that's a Twitter page. That's an Instagram post. Oh, that's TMZ. Still might be getting tricked.
I was gonna say one more source.
We're a little close to April 1st. Let's do. Oh, KTLA. That's a real news source. Here we go. We're in. This is getting added to the doc. Unbelievable.
Wild,
right,
man.
Let's do a little bit of basketball before we wrap this show up. Where the hell is basketball?
Boom shakalaka.
Playoffs have started, Scott. I know you're very excited about the NBA playoffs that are now. One of the big matches that people are keeping their eyes on is Minnesota and Los Angeles, the Lakers and the Timberwolves. You've got the old guard in LeBron, passing the torch off to Ant, and Anthony Edwards is like the new face of the league, and here's the torch being passed in this series. Edwards got fined $50,000 after game 1 because he told a fan he's got a little dick.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Mookie, you hit me with a what?
I mean,
NBA, it's fantastic. Hey, dude, you got a little dick.
It happened in the third quarter of the game during a timeout. And Ant's over on the sidelines, and some fan, that fan had been chirping all day, and Ant finally had enough and started talking about how much money he has and how he's got way more money than this guy. And the guy kept chirping, and finally Ant said, "I got a bigger dick than you too," and like grabbed his balls and like look at that. And the part is the video, all you see is everybody's camera out just recording Ant the whole time, just because they knew he was going to say something. And sure enough, videos got out. League was like $50,000 fine.
I was talking about this with my brother recently, just, the NBA in general, and how all the guys that I like, the last, group of guys that I'm really familiar with are like ushering out. They're all aging out, and slowly but surely it's just to where like I don't know any of these guys because I'm not watching college nearly as much anyway. So what few do go to college, show up in the NBA. I don't know who any of these fucking guys are anymore. But it sounds like with Anthony Edwards, the league's gonna be okay. The league is in good hands. Like, I don't have to worry about it collapsing because as long as there's a player that will remind the fans that he's got a bigger dick and then grabs himself afterwards, salute. You talk shit, you deserve to be told that you have a smaller dick than said guy you were talking to. Best $50,000 I bet he's ever spent. Just saying.
Dude, and he did it twice. Like, he doubled down. He knew he was gonna get caught for it. And he's like, I don't care. This man needs to know. I respect that. And this is where, to me, I struggle with this though, because he's like, I don't want to be the face of the league, and it's like, dude, that right there, that's face of the league shit, my man.
I mean,
like,
for real.
There's want to be the face. Don't step up and don't take the reins, my man.
Here's the thing. That's not face of the league material. It's what we want the face of the league to be. Historically, the face of the league has to be the guy who's buttoned up and who isn't spouting off, hey, I got a bigger dick than you. Like, that guy isn't face of the league. That guy's the one who gets in trouble. That's not the Republicans buy shoes too type of guy. But LeBron could have had a little bit more clout in his career if he told a couple guys along the way he had a bigger dick than them.
Mm-hmm.
If LeBron got caught on a hot mic telling a fan he's got a bigger dick than him, how much closer does that put him to Jordan for you, Scott?
Ooh, that closes the gap, man. That closes the fucking gap.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden I'm overlooking them 6 finals losses. It's like, but you can't win them all, right? Like, I'm excusing it away. Like, but remember that one time he told a fan he had a huge dick?
I can see the graphics where it's like Jordan 6-0 in the finals, LeBron 3-6 or whatever, and then it's like Jordan this many points, LeBron this many points. Jordan never told a fan he's got a bigger dick than him. Did it on April 12th, 2006. It's like, oh shit, LeBron got him in that one, man.
Yeah, when they do those side-by-side tail of the tapes, that'll be one of the things that's listed underneath LeBron for his credentials. Just told a fan he had a bigger dick.
Luke,
that's a hell of a bullet point, man. Hell of a bullet point.
Does that put LeBron over Jordan in your book if he had told a fan he's got a bigger dick than him?
See, the problem is everyone knew MJ had a bigger unit. He didn't need to tell anyone.
Well, and I would dare say too that we're making the assumption. I feel like we know who MJ is. There's a pretty good chance that he told quite a few fans. I was gonna say, in the era of no social media and cell phones recording all the time, there's a good chance that more than a dozen people out there got told by MJ that he's got a bigger dick than them.
That would have made it into Last Dance if it had happened. We would.
Well,
It would have been like a fan chirping and Jordan being like, and I took that personally. And then it just cuts the footage of him being like, I got a bigger dick than you. And like,
yeah, I mean, he held vendettas against his coworkers. You know he wouldn't have a problem with that, holding vendettas against just your average idiot-ass fan talking shit.
He wouldn't even hold it a vendetta, Scott. There would be no time for a vendetta to happen because he'd just deal with it in the moment. He'd be like, boom, done.
Oh,
Should
man.
we just get AI to like animate that for us? Is that a thing? Because I feel like this would just be perfect.
Why
it's
would
gotta be
Allen
like the old
Iverson
school
wanna-
grainy film too?
I feel like Allen Iverson would have been one to do that too in his youth. He definitely would have told the fan he had a bigger dick than him.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and for a little dude, he damn sure would have been right too. No doubt.
That's why I had to wear the baggy shorts, man.
Right. Hung dong.
Gabe wanting to know, did Ja get fined for throwing grenades? I don't know.
What is wrong with that guy? Like, you just think that you would get fined more again after the whole thing kind of finally died down, and I was like, oh yeah, John's just playing basketball. That he would again get fined for doing a finger gun thing on the court. Like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Like that's who Anthony Edwards is competing for once upon a time for like face of the league. Ja pissed that all away. Like he had it for a country minute, and then it was like, oh, you're shooting guns nonstop, and then you're just on, Instagram videos holding guns and giggling about them like a schoolgirl. You're out, dude. You should have just told somebody you had a bigger dick than them. You'd have been fine instead of pretending with all these guns.
I feel like that's what he was trying to say, just through a gun joke.
Right, yeah, and he just did it the dumb way. He should have just straight up said, I got a bigger dick than you. You'd have been better off.
I feel like that's some quality parenting right there, Scott.
Hey, if my kids ever ask, I mean, if somebody's talking shit about you, they just won't shut up. You throw that card. Play it. Dare them to call you out on it too. Dare it. Say it with your whole ass chest. Make them prove you wrong.
Hi, Mr. Kaiser. Yeah, this is your son's teacher. Your son today at recess got a student and said that he had a bigger dick than him. And when the student said, nuh-uh, your son said, prove it, whip that hog out and slap it down right here on this table. He's got an insult suspension for the rest of the week, and we need you to come in and have a talk with us.
Yeah, all right. I'll be right there to get Luke. It's 100% Luke if it happens. I guarantee if that conversation ever to happen, you could have stopped at kid couldn't control his anger. That's fucking Luke right there. Luke would definitely do that shit.
See, that's bad because I'm sitting there. I'm just like, well, so did he win? I mean, if the kid didn't call the bluff, then there you go.
Yeah, that's true. Your son said, quote, whip that hog out.
I was wondering if anybody was going to address that part of it.
Oh, I wouldn't let that get by. That was good. That was good.
Hug out. Throw it on the table. Let's talk about
Feels like that's the name of a Yee track right there.
What am I gonna say? Right?
Talk about the spirits we're drinking. We're rating them as always on Caesar scale, dog or no dog. Scott, we didn't get your intro, so why don't you tell us what beer you got? You said it's an herbally infused brew this week. What are you drinking?
Yeah.
Scale, dog or no dog?
I was so excited about this one. I had to drink it early and sent it to the group chat, but it's Uncle Arnie's Cherry Limeade THC infused beverage. Very lightly carbonated, but it just tastes like a melted cherry popsicle with a little bit of Sprite in it, and it is such a dog. In fact, besides despite not being at the beginning of the show, I was done with this thing in about 5 minutes after I showed up. Like before we were done talking baseball, your boy was already like, I need a couple more of these.
Oh,
it's that good. It's 100% a dog.
It sounds fantastic. Mookie, what were you drinking, dog or no dog?
Scott, you missed it. So like this one, little weird, but it's actually called Eric More Cowbell.
I like that.
I was like high expectations, and then I saw it was brewed with chocolate, vanilla, and milk sugar because it is a milk stout. This thing
is it
was
not
an
good?
all-around dog. Mm-hmm.
Was it? Oh, good.
Winning quality.
Nice.
Wish I had one more.
Sounds good.
It was.
What was the ABV on that?
Only 6. So very crushable.
That's not bad. Yeah, I was gonna say that's not bad. I like it.
Scott, you would be so proud of me because tonight I went with Out of Order, which you can only see the dog on the can. And he's dressed like Happy Gilmore.
Hell yes.
This is an American sour. I'm going to read you these ingredients that are on here. Copious amounts of strawberry, limes, rainbow candies, and lactose. It is 5% ABV. This was just straight up strawberry juice. It was so good. Absolutely delicious. I get it now, Scott. I get why you like the sours because this wasn't what I was used to with sours. I was used to sours being like, oh, I kind of see where you get that flavor mentioned from, but this is making my whole face suck inside of itself. This was juice. Oh my God. I'm hooked.
That's what I've discovered on the sour journey is that if you find ones where they nail what they claim it to be and they, the flavor profile is what it says on the can, out of this world. Like completely delicious, better than anything you can get. I mean, like if you like the flavor of beer in general, it's probably not going to be your thing. Like I could get why people wouldn't like, but if you enjoy flavorful beer and having the different type of beer experience, dude, sours are I can't believe I've been sleeping on them this long. That's all.
Same, absolute same. And I've been kind of shitting on you for dipping into sours and like going into that world. And I get it. I understand.
It's a nice. It's a nice change up, man.
This was a show, boys.
Yes, sir. I mean,
this was a 9-year anniversary show. We've been doing this show for 9 years now. Woo! Absolutely crazy to me. Scott, I went back and listened to a little bit of the first episode.
Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly. About 3 minutes and it was like, oh, I can't listen to this anymore. Back when we did the hi, I'm Scott and I'm Mike and this is Craft Brewed Sports, and that was
God, I forgot about that. I was just more thinking about, like, as soon as you say first show, all I can think about is me and you sitting next to each other on your couch in the basement with 2 stick mics. that's the visual I get. It's like that's not what you get when you hear the podcast, but it was just 2 bros sitting next to each other on a couch holding stick mics,
doing that corny ass awkward intro.
Oh my God. And that was when we were still like trying to talk about sports, like breaking it down and like actually like anybody give a fuck about our opinions on and the actual ins and outs of the game. Yeah. Woo. God.
And now we're talking about sperm races.
Well, yeah, I mean, because we're qualified to break those down.
That's a good point.
We've learned who we are. We found
our lane.
Nobody cares about us breaking down who we think is going to go number 1 overall in the draft based on their college stats. No.
Yeah.
You want to hear from us that there's a thing called sperm racing that's happening in California this weekend, and you can potentially bet on it. And also somebody shit in a referee's shoe. Like, that's what our appreciate. That's what we do, baby. And it's been 9 years of it. And thank you to each and every one of you that tuned in and listen to this dumb shit, because it's so much fun. It's the highlight of my week every week on Tuesdays to be able to come down here, do this show, hang out with you boys, have everybody chiming in. It's the best.
I thought my wife was going to complain about how fast I was driving to get back. I was flying from that fucking Little League game to get back here. So that's how much I enjoy this, and I appreciate all of y'all for joining in at 1, 2, or every damn week. appreciate y'all. It's my favorite thing that I do. Don't tell my family.
The comments too. Matt Barr, after 9 years, where are we gonna go? Congratulations.
That's fair.
Tyson said, great show, boys. Shoob said, very sensual show. Matt Barr, 2 bros chilling on a couch 5 feet apart because they're not gay. Ask Bronson Arroyo. I don't know. Tank, congrats, guys. Thanks for 9 years of great moments. Seriously, we appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, for helping us out, for helping us grow this thing, man. It's a ton of fun, and it feels like you are all a part of the show with all your comments each and every week. So thank you sincerely. Really, thank you so much for all the support. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube. We're trying to grow that thing over there. We haven't been there for 9 years. We've only been there for like a couple years. So we're trying to so go subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. They want up-to-date news about sperm racing and shitting in shoes. We got you covered. Subscribe and hit that bell. You follow us on all the social media accounts at Craft Brewed Sports. Join the Facebook group because it's a good time. The only reason to have Facebook anymore. Shout out Belly Up Sports, bellyupsports.com. Tons of great content there. Shout out to all the pods on the Belly Up Sports Media Network. We will see you all next week. Cheers, everybody.
Stay skin and slow, kids.
You'll never walk alone. Horns up.
I don't know much about your show or what's going on,